Welcome in everyone to the Challenge After Show. Tonight, Pamela and Jenna and we are talking about the Challenge AS4 All Stars 4, episodes 1 and 2. Episode 1 was called A Sky Full of Stars, and episode 2 was called You Won't Break My Soul. Great. Awesome. So I think it's important because it's our first episode back and because it's the first episode of this brand new season that we do overall thoughts. And I think we need to start with Pamela because Pamela texted us last night. She said that she felt that she won money from watching this show because it's so good. Like, Pamela, please, what happened when you
I
watched this thing?
could not have been happier. First of all, so we obviously didn't do a cast reveal. We knew, of course, I knew Cara, I knew Rachel, I knew Veronica, some biggies, but I was like, no, no. Every person that they had on, I was like, Avery,
Who were you surprised? Oh, Avery. Okay.
Avery, I forgot about. And then it's just been so long since again, it seems like it's been an eternity since Challenge Talk, even though it hasn't been that long. Um, and I sort of forgot because when the cast list was first revealed, we spoke about it. But I felt surprised anew last night watching it, and I was still so excited to see Cam. I'm like, God, I forgot how much I missed you. You know, you don't realize how much you miss certain people until they're back on your TV. And seeing Veronica and Rachel and Tina together. I have a little place in my heart for Steve, so I was excited about seeing Steve again. Um,
Mm.
Ace, I think might bring something to the table. Yeah, I don't know, just almost everybody. Like there's like maybe two or three people that I like don't have a history with or care a lot about.
And
Only
who are
if,
they?
yeah.
I
Who
think
are they?
Oh, who
Flora
are
and,
they?
and Kelfa.
Yeah, yes, yeah, like
Listen,
yes.
I did
Who's
not know Flora going into this, but she has made a fan out of me for sure. I'm a
Ooh.
Flora fangirl. I
Is that
love
because
okay?
her.
she drops F-bombs every 2 seconds?
She's so real. I love her. Also, she's 51
I
and she
know.
off her ass to go there.
And
Sure.
also, I
Listen,
mean, not that it matters one way or the other, but she looks good. I was like, whoa, like I was shocked when she said
and
she
I
was.
feel like she's everyone's like internal voice, like she's just real and doesn't take it too seriously.
Yeah, I have, and I'm scared that I'm like literally scared about, I don't know if this popular, unpopular, this happens to me with The Bachelor. I get like hair blindness. If two girls of the same kind of hair, I'm like, I don't,
Oh.
and
Well,
I was,
you remember what happened with me with Angela and what was the other girl's name from
Angela and something with it, Alyssa.
Alyssa
So
for like
during the
2 hours
confessional,
on doing a review with you guys. I could not be convinced otherwise. Like they were the same person to me, morphed. I could not disassociate them.
so I like these people both, but it took me, I was having a hard time separating Janelle and Flora during their
Wait,
confessionals. At certain points, I was like,
Wait,
wait,
Laura?
wait,
Who's
wait.
Laura?
Janelle and
Janelle,
Flora look nothing
Oh,
alike.
Flora. Flora
Flora,
and Janelle? Damn.
What are you
I'm
talking
sorry.
about?
Flora is
Not
similar.
even close, girl.
The hair, that's why I'm like, ooh, I not at all. They really don't.
Pamela, the
No, and
comment
not for
section
me.
is going to
You know,
just say that you're so off on that.
Not for
I was
me,
like,
but if you feel that way, I'm gonna let you.
You
That's your
can,
truth. That's
Pamela,
your
I can't
truth.
wait. I
So,
oh
love that
my
you
God,
said it.
I'm sorry, everybody. But I think that the
Are you
way that
sure you have the names right? Are you sure you have the names right? Just double check the
they,
names.
yes.
Janelle and Flora.
and do they both have daughters or only one has a daughter? And the
I
daughter that
believe they
plays
both have
tennis,
families. I know that Flora has that daughter Mia because they showed her picture, and then
I
Janelle
know
has
how funny that they had a picture of her daughter. I mean,
yeah, like ice skating or something, or doing some type of
playing tennis. Just
one of their
like.
daughters is an athlete.
No,
And I
I'm
just,
way off.
But I
maybe
mean,
it's not
I
even
guess
the
we saw
look.
little glimpses of everybody's. Like Tyree is a dad now too, and we saw Cam and Leroy with their son. So I
Can I
guess they
ask you about
integrated
Kingston? Kingston must be there, right? Like at a like because she needs to
Pumping breast
breastfeed for
milk.
him. So they must have all made the trip to Africa then, because that doesn't seem like you could. Yeah. Anyways, okay. So he's
And she
there.
doesn't.
You're nodding. Do you have the answer on that, or are you
I
just?
Oh,
don't. I'm
I don't, but
asking.
I was jumping to conclusions, thinking, you're right, Dan, it must be. It must be because you're not going to send your breast milk across to another country.
They must have like one of their moms there or a nanny or someone taking care of him, and then they must not either they must not stay at the house or I don't know what, but she need every. I mean, Jenna, you know,
They're
Yeah.
staying at the house because she said Ayanna's her roommate.
yeah, I still don't get how that's all working
I
because
know. I was thinking the same thing as you, Dan. Again, I don't know. I haven't like researched enough, but I did research the timeline of Cam's pregnancies and when she delivered because now she has 2 kids, right? And
Right.
it all has happened so quickly. And
oh,
I
I
was like,
didn't realize that. Yeah,
how,
Yeah.
she's postpartum from which kid? Like I had to figure it out. But she's on this season, 8 months postpartum from her first baby, and she just had her second baby. So I'm not sure when they filmed All Stars 4, but she was only postpartum for her first kid, not her second one.
right. So she could be
8 months.
freezing. She could be freezing her breast milk too, and then just sending it over to the local hotel. She's not sending it back to the States. I can't imagine
Well, she
that being
said
the
that
case.
she's gonna bring her breast milk home, but I have the same question because can you bring that on a plane? Plus, it needs to be frozen. It needs to be refrigerated for 4 to 6 days
Here we
and then
go.
frozen for 6 months. So I don't know how the transport would happen because if they're filming All Stars for what, maybe 4 weeks to six
It's
weeks or
quick.
like
It's like
a
it's very
month,
quick.
a
Yeah.
month, a month and a half. First off, if your baby's 8 months, I do not want to leave my baby for a month and a half. And that's no parent judging. I love that they're getting out there, they're living their lives. It's still important
But
to live
that's
your
why I don't think they left. I think that Kingston is close by because they're
That's what
both
I'm
there
thinking
too.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because breast milk, one, I don't know how that's getting on the plane, if that can melt, if that can sour, if it's even allowed. Like you're not allowed to bring liquids, you can only bring like two
You
fluid
could
ounces,
maybe a
right?
dry freeze underneath the plane or something.
And
Yeah,
then shipped,
maybe.
even you freeze it,
Maybe they can
refrigerate
ship
it and
it.
ship it. The way, yeah,
True.
she could be shipping it home. I think he's there too, though. I don't think Cam and
Yeah.
Leroy were like,
Right. I don't think
we
she
like
would
our
leave an
baby, but we
8-month-old.
gotta be on All Stars. Yeah, I
Like
think
eight
Right.
they're
months, first off, like every milestone for your baby, you like don't want to miss. But I especially feel like 8 months, they're really like becoming human and with the personality and like probably crawling and maybe lifting up, like getting ready to walk. Like I feel like as parents, they would not want to miss those milestones with Kingston. But so that's why I'm thinking he's got to be like in a hotel nearby. I had the same exact thought.
Okay. All right. Well, let's move past that. And Jenna, why don't you give us your overall thoughts and then I'll give mine.
Well, it's funny because one of my overall thoughts is I'm not quite ready to move past that because I also want
Oh,
to just like applaud and compliment her commitment to breastfeeding. First off, it's hard and pumping. Sometimes it's easier if you're away from your child just because, it's like you give your baby a bottle and then your boobs are like ready to go. So you got to pump. You're like
okay.
leaking, they're engorged, but then you're pumping, but you got to change your baby's diaper. And then what if your baby's crying? Then you got to pump and clean the pump parts. Like it just is such an exhausting ordeal to have to do. So even though she's away from her baby at certain hours, like sometimes it might not be that hard to like go in another room and pump. But she said she's still doing it every 2 to 3 hours. That is
yeah.
like such a demanding schedule. It's so much on your body too. And I just can't help but think like those challenges on TV, they look quick. Like, oh, you show up to a beach, right? And you do a challenge for an hour. But production schedules in TV are crazy. Like she might be stuck doing a challenge for like 8 hours. How is she? She got a portable pump. Like it's just so much to commit to. So I just applaud her and like her determination to like see it through and keep producing breast milk for her baby and being on the show is amazing. And it's so much more tiring than people would think. They see this little clip of like her walking around with her breast milk. Like it's not easy to do. So I really just compliments to her. It's amazing. So that's one of my overall thoughts. And also just her being 8 months postpartum saying she had a C-section. It's like, wow, you're really jumping right in. You don't
Yeah.
know if your body's going to be able to handle all of this is just really a lot that she's jumping into.
Hmm.
Um, that being said, another overall thought is first off, very fun. I'm really enjoying it. And I'm excited to see how this all unfolds because the teaser looks really good. Like we see people getting emotional, a lot of crying, Laurel and Nicole with the smooch, right? So there's a lot that looks like is
Yes.
going to come this season. But the cast is funny to me because I'm so happy to see Cara. I'm so happy to see Laurel. Like, we have people who seem to still be in like their prime, air quotes. But then you have Flora, who is 51. You have Keithla, who is probably 48, I think, when this filmed. And I'm not writing him off, right? You can still be totally athletic. And it's proven to be that he's definitely in this. Like, he finished pretty good in the first challenge. But on the surface, you're looking at it like, this is such a drop off, right? Like, you have fucking Cara, who is this CrossFit queen. And then you have people who are like in their 50s, you know? Like, how is this competition going to go?
Yeah. My overall thoughts real quick. I realized that it's all about cast dynamics for me, and that's what makes the show. Because in all honesty, the first two daily challenges to me were like, okay to watch. But the dynamic between all the people doing it, that's what makes the freaking show. So this is really crazy. But like after I watched the first two episodes on Paramount Plus, it randomly started showing me an episode from Bloodlines. Okay. And the daily challenge was one, if you remember this one, it was where they had to, one, their heads were in boxes. One of them had to like eat crickets and spit them in a tube. The other one had to just sit there with a snake on it. Right. Look on the outside, like that's boring to watch, but it wasn't, because the cast dynamic was so good that season. And it's like, and that wasn't even like one of the better seasons, but it was still really good. And that's what All Stars 4 is doing right now. Like, even like the fact that, you know, obviously, spoiler alert, Janelle goes home or whatever, and then Tina just gets a freebie star. Like, that wasn't great either. But the dynamics of her taking it from Avery, now they're going to have this whole thing, Avery versus the three girls. That is what's making the show. And that is what's missing on the last couple seasons that we've watched, non-all-stars, non-whatever, but just like regular season. So I'm realizing that. And also, like, let's be real, these are all not stars, right? This is not all stars. This is all not stars. When they showed the description of, in their confessional, when they show the old, and this is the best, this is really smart. They show the original picture from their first season, and they purposely chose dopey pictures of every single one of them. Not one of them had like a nice smile or a cool pose like they do for their current picture. Dopey pictures of them, like they're hilarious.
It's funny you're saying dopey though, because all of them look so young. I'm like, oh my God,
Yeah,
you
but
guys
young
are
with like
amazing.
they don't even know what's happening, and that's why it's such a good picture. Like,
But they're so cute. Like, wow, you guys
no, they
look
are. It's
awesome.
great. I love what they're doing. But my point is too, below the pictures, it'll say like, I wrote a couple down. For Tyree, it says 3 daily challenge wins. Why the hell is he on this show? And there's more. For Derek, it's even worse for Derek. 2 daily challenge wins. I'm just laughing my ass off.
Yeah.
With these dailies. But anyways, and there's a lot more. There's not just those two. I'm picking on those two. There's a ton of them haven't done anything. Anyways, those are my overall thoughts. And I'm really, I'm so, and with all that said, loving the show so far. It's great. Loving
No,
it.
I completely agree with you on the cast, because that was something else I was thinking that I didn't mention. It's not just like an age drop off. It's exactly what you're saying. There's such a skill drop off too. So like, again, I'll use Cara as an example, because when they showed her stats, it's like, yeah, that's an all-star.
Right.
She competing against
single like 34 challenges. Yeah, I just remember seeing it being like, damn, when you see it all stacked up.
Yeah, it's almost like unfair to have someone like that in the competition. But then again, you see her do math and you start to see it equalize.
Right.
Got a weakness there for sure.
Yeah, definitely. But Jay.
Math me. Oh, shout out to Cara though. Can someone math me? She like gave them, she asked for math. Can someone math me during that?
Can someone math me, please? But yeah, Dan, you have someone like Jay, and trust me, I'm not mad to see him back on the show because he's entertaining. I'm not mad to see anybody, because everybody brings something to the table on this cast. But it is like, if you look at competition wise or like endurance wise, like what are they gonna, but you have to see what the challenges are gonna be. You know, so far they've been, the first one was pretty tough in terms of endurance, but the second one with the plane, you know, that's
a van with them sitting in a van, and
but it is fun. Like, it should just be called like the challenge old school or something.
Old school would be good. That's a cool name. But the second daily challenge was worse than the first one. Was okay. The second one was really bad to watch. I was bored out of my mind.
Oh, I wasn't mad at it. The math was funny.
But that's my point, right? It's the dynamics between the cast members. It was funny. That part was funny. The daily challenge was
the music
kind of crap, and the music, Pamela. We're gonna get into that in a little bit too. I telling Stacey when I was watching, I'm like, see, Stacey, this is why All Stars is awesome. They always play old school music. It's the best.
And like
it keeps-
perfectly like an 80s movie going with what was going on, like whatever.
Wait, let's all say, because I also wrote down soundtrack, amazing. So what was everybody's favorite song?
Ooh, I wrote one down. Go, Jenna. Go, Pamela. I'm looking mine
Mine
up.
was
Go,
Cara to like you ought to know, and I'm
Oh,
here
yes.
to remind you. Of the
In episode 2, they played S Club 7.
Yeah.
And Stacey starts freaking out because she loves it. And I didn't really, we don't talk music as much as we talk like TV and movies. So I was like, oh my God, I love this song too. And we were like singing it while we were watching. It was great. So S Club 7 was my
love. It was that one, right? Ain't
Yeah.
nobody like an SF gonna show you
so
how.
fun.
It's
And
my
just
singing career. That close second, my number one was Rumors by Lindsay Lohan. Iconic song. Love it.
Whoa.
Perfect
Anyways.
time for it too.
yeah,
Yeah,
just
during the
spot
pot.
on.
Ooh,
Yeah.
we'll talk about it.
in episode 2, you mean?
Uh-huh.
Oh God. Wait till that's insane. Okay.
You know how like if you go
Leroy was speaking for everybody there, everybody watching, because I'm freaking out at home. I'm like, why is no one saying anything? And then Leroy, I'm like, thank you, Leroy. Thank you for stepping it up. And someone's saying something. This is ridiculous. All
But
right.
also, like, no good deed goes unpunished. Like, Leroy's speaking up, but you can't, it won't be clear to Ayanna. She's still, or maybe she's just putting on a front, right? Because she's trying to just play the game. But it's like, you can't talk to someone like that who is so like stern in their belief. It's like,
but also
she's still wrong,
Ayanna,
you know, in her eyes.
Testifying for Congress though, she's like, this is my time, you will not see. It's like, I succeed my time, like an official. It's like, what do you mean it's your time? It's my fucking time. I have to listen to you. No one wants to listen to you. That was kooky.
I don't think, and here was the other issue with that real quick is I don't think she realized that she messed up the name at the end. She was going on such a tear that she was supposed to say the other person's name because she said she was going to say it. I forget how it happened, but she said the wrong person's name obviously at the end there. So Leroy was like confused. Wait, didn't you want to save that person? But I think she thought she said the other person's name and couldn't even comprehend the fact that she messed up the final name, and that's what caused the. But then I wanted Leroy to say, "You just said this." But you meant to say, but he never said that to her. So then she just kept sitting in her ways like, no, you heard what I said. It's like, no, you're wrong, though, with what you said. But yeah, she was lost cause at that point, I feel like.
Yeah.
All right, let's jump into, all right, do we want to talk about any of the cast members really quick? Like that we were like, I mean, I already knew the cast because I looked it up on one of my fan Instagram things. I already had them all listed. So there was no surprises for me. Is there anybody that we're like super excited to see? Because I have a couple that I'm like pumped and I really am excited to hope that they do go far and stuff. Do you want to do that real quick?
Okay.
I am calling it now. I called it last season with Nerys, and Nerys was my wild card. And I was like, I think Nerys is going to go far. And everyone always gave me crap for Nerys. I'm loving, and I've always liked her, by the way. I always liked her since she was hooking up with shaved head Johnny, is Avery. And I'm really excited for Avery to be that underdog, just like Nerys was, and to go really far this season. And I think that she's going to do some stuff.
I don't know. And I don't know anything, but my only counter to that was it became very clear last night that even if someone's kind of good, maybe even more if they're kind of good and they win a first thing and they don't have numbers, any friends really with them and teammates, it's gonna be hard.
That's how it is every season, Pam. That's every season.
Yes, but these people
it's hard without friends
30 years of friendship as opposed to, I mean, yeah, it's most of them do. So unfortunately, I think we're gonna see the few strays shake off.
I mean, we saw it with Tina in episode 2. She took her star versus, I think that she should have taken Cara Maria because Cara Maria is a better competitor. Like, why? I mean, you don't want to piss her off either.
Coming after you. You don't want Cara Maria.
That's fine. But at the same time, Cara Maria, if she can't get a star, I don't know how we can get into this, but I don't know how difficult it's going to be to actually not only get a star, but then to hold on to that star. So if you take that star away from Cara, the only way that she can get it back is if she wins a daily challenge and throws. I don't even understand how the star thing is even working. There's only 6. That's it. They're not going to give more.
It's just going to be a game of stealing. It's going to be a game of stealing. The only way you can protect your star is if you win the daily challenge. So Cara already has her star, but she did not win the helicopter daily challenge. So Tina could have stolen hers, but she decided to steal Avery's. I think she stole Avery's because she was trying to bully Avery into, you know, being on team Tina, Rachel, and
If she,
Veronica.
but if she really
You
wanted
would
to
have stolen
bully,
it anyway. That's
Yeah.
I think
if she
what
really
it's
wanted to bully her, though, she should have actually taken Cara Maria's and said, "Hey, look, Avery, I just saved you. Now be a part of our team. You can trust me now." If she really wanted to work with her, but she doesn't. And that's when I'm glad Avery didn't
Me too.
go along with them, because screw them. They were never, I even wrote down, like, they're lying to you. They're never going to make you a part of their squad. It's the three of them and that's it. And I'm sorry, but like, Veronica looks real damn out of shape, and so does Tina. So if anything, if I'm Rachel, I know they're your best friends, but they're gonna be dragging you down this season.
Yeah, no, I agree that really the only thing they have is Rachel and the fact that there's three of them, like their strength in numbers, they have a good alliance so they can protect each other. But yeah, I mean, Tina and Veronica, in terms of like, again, we'll see what each daily challenge is like, because there is such a mixed bag of ages and athleticism. Like, if they just keep doing equalizer challenges, then maybe they will have a shot. But if it's going to be running up and down hill like the first one, it's not looking good for them.
No.
My prediction is Rachel's gonna come in place every time and have a star and bully everyone into submission, and Tina and Veronica are like never
that's what makes me nervous now that Tina has a star. It's like, are they going to be bullying everyone? Like, you better not steal Tina's star, because then all three of us are going to come after you, and it's going to be like crap. So Tina gets to make a final now because she got freaking. And this is another reason why I was upset with everything besides the dynamic of the show was. That was a BS call for them to just give her a star and not even have to compete. I'm sorry. They should have said, you know what? Tina, you get to stay in the game. That's one thing, but you don't also get a star for doing nothing. That was too far to me.
I think because of the numbers of the cast and the timing and whatever, you don't want to lose two people in a week. You know what I mean?
No, I'm fine with her staying, but don't give her the star too. You can stay in the house because no one wanted to compete against you, and because Janelle went home, but you shouldn't also then get to steal someone's star.
Shouldn't technically, like in terms of if it was a regular season or whatever. I feel like Tina is at the level of evolution where I'm always like, but why? Why do you want to run a final? Like, where Tina would be like, I don't want to run a fucking finals. Like, I'm not.
Well,
like,
don't you remember, like, wasn't it like in like All
win.
Stars 1 or 2, Tina like gave up in an elimination, said, I don't need to do this anymore. I'm done. I don't have it in me anymore. And now she's been back the last couple seasons. I'm like, okay, Tina, so what was that then? What did you really mean in that elimination? I think it was you literally knew you were going to get embarrassed, so it was better to just pretend like you didn't want to do it instead of really trying and really basically doing the exact same thing as not trying, because you're that out of shape. Let's be real.
Yes, I think you're right. It was Tina versus Melinda that she just stood still and said, I'm not going to do this. She ducked out and she said she didn't like who she was becoming. She was feeling like the bully she used to be. She didn't like being that person. But now she gets a crew to be a bully with. So it's fine. It's on. I'm excited for her. And I say go for it. Everyone, I think TJ felt like we do. He's like, hi, Tina. Hi, Cara. Like, he was pumped. TJ seemed like he was almost a fan last night, too. He was excited about.
Yeah, he's back. And you know what? They had him come in old school on a BMX bike, nothing fancy. And then they had him come in on an old school RV. So they're playing with that theme of like, this is old school. Like Jenna said, it should be old school. It should not be called All Stars. At least
he's just wearing a t-shirt. He's not in like spy gear. He's been in like,
this is
good
stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I said Avery. Does anybody else want to say who they're excited about besides Avery, or if you have someone else maybe?
Well, I mentioned it, but I'm excited for Cara, Laurel, Nicole, like all of those dynamics, like you said. So Laurel and Nicole are broken up, but it looks like, things could domino with that. Cara being back in the house, and her and Laurel having that like history of being friends and anti-friends. It looks like Laurel has this freak out on Cara. That is crazy. Excited for Leroy and Cam, and as much crap that I've talked about him throughout the years, and I stand by it because he's always cheated on his girlfriends on TV. I'm happy to see Tony back because it's fun.
It's fun.
He's the face we saw a lot of, and he's been gone for a while, so it's fun to see him back.
Agreed. I didn't think I missed Tony, but I really enjoyed seeing him. I did write poor Alyssa in parentheses because I wonder if he's going to cheat on her in South Africa. But anyway, maybe he won't. I don't know. We'll see. But yes, it felt like if you go to a high school reunion and there was like someone that you've known all your life, even if you like never talked to them, if they like sat next to you in a class, you're like, hi. That's how I feel. Jay, I'm like, because I watched his season, so I didn't think I missed or cared about Jay. But all these people that I didn't think I missed or cared about, seeing them warmed my heart. So
yeah.
So
Yeah,
let's go over what they're winning this season real quick. First
Right.
place, guy or girl, doesn't matter, apparently, gets the $250,000, quarter of a mil. We now know that 6 people are going to make this final because there's only 6 stars. So the rest, if as long as the next 5 all complete the mission, or the mission, that's what's his face was calling it when it's not called missions anymore.
oh right.
The
Adam, right?
final, as long as the
It's
next
anyway
5 complete the final, they will split $50,000, so they'd each get 10K. However, we've seen some of these people, like if Veronica makes the final, I'm not sure she's making it, so then it would be only 4 people splitting that 50K. So in a way, I think a lot of people are going to be like almost encouraging, no, you should probably stop. You're going to hurt, because they want to make more money off that 50K. Let's be real. So yeah, you have to cross the final. What's up,
And
Pam?
if the first person, I get it. Okay.
Yeah, the final 5, as long as it doesn't matter if you get 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6, you're a part of that 50K. You get to split it. That's what they said.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's interesting. I mean, that's so much more incentive to come in
So much more incentive to just make the damn final. So people should really, I mean, I'm really excited for this season. I know we haven't really gotten to much of what happened yet, but yeah, I'm excited about what we're seeing so far.
And I have one final overall thought before we move on to like breaking specific situations down. This is an example of how you can bring the drama if you're invested in the cast, just like you said, without like sex, drugs, and rock and roll, with the way that they can't do it old style. They can't like fight and drink and all that stuff. But this is still going to be super dramatic because of all these relationships that we're already,
Yeah. I mean,
don't care about. We're already invested.
You're having old school reality people that know how to make a TV show. Cara looks like she's ready to have, it's her first one back too. So she's going all out. And like I remember like, and we were at AfterBuzz, and even after our buzz, I was like, I'm so over Cara. I can't handle her and Polly. Could not be more excited to see her back. I also just watched her home turf thing that they were doing. I watched hers and CT's and Johnny Bananas, and it was nice to see her on that as well. It's kind of
How was that?
Sure. Well, it's really good. I didn't watch all of them. I haven't watched like Devin's yet, and Amanda's. I don't watch those probably.
CT's
But
looks good. I'm only like 10 minutes in, but it's really good so
Amanda's is good.
No,
Is Cara's
Oh, CT's is probably
good.
the best one. CT's is probably the best one.
Okay, all right, I'm on it. It's so funny because my friends that have never watched an episode of the challenge have just watched the traitors. Now they're like, who is CT? And I'm like,
Oh yeah.
who is CT?
Oh my God. Seriously, what do you mean? Like
Yeah.
all-time
They just
iconic
met
reality
CT.
TV legend.
Yeah,
Like,
and talk about a redemption season. Trishelle, anyone? My God, was she good on that show? So if you haven't watched Traitors yet,
I didn't watch Traitors.
Okay.
oh,
well,
I won't give anything away about what
okay,
happens,
okay.
but
We'll discuss
literally
later.
it's edge of your seat. And a couple of the way the episodes ended, I'm like so mad I had to wait another week, but now you don't have to, Jenny. You can watch them all in a row. So something to think of if you're bored and like there's nothing on TV, watch Traitors season 2. Or I think it's
Traitors season 2 is fun. It's fun.
Yeah, you can fast forward a lot of like the daily challenge crap. I did a little bit.
You can watch it if you work
Because
from home.
it's
Like
to me, it's
you can
all
watch
about
it.
the drama with the people. Oh, how's that?
I'll have things on like in the background.
Oh, that's a background one?
Yeah, some of them were. Some of them I paid more attention to, and they were a real watch, but some were like,
yeah, background.
Let's get on with this.
All right. Well, let's get on with this next part of the show too here. Daily challenge number 1. It's a lot of running. Pretty cool setup. They went all out with like the look of it from the bird's eye view. I was like, wow, this is like a pretty cool looking thing. Not much to say about it, but I'll say this. I don't understand what was happening. I don't understand how they had to know the stars. They put the stars in the slots. How were they able to, if they got it wrong, they had to bring it back and try a different one, right? They couldn't just keep going up the line. It looked like they had to like
you're
go.
right, actually. There was a lot of trying to fill in the gap. Like I even wrote that down too. I'm like, okay, well, it looks like in my mind, I think you have to go in order. Right? Like you can't have the star. Oh, it doesn't fit in
and
box
then go to the
1.
next one.
Let me run to box 2. No, it doesn't fit. Let me run to box 3. It looks like if you have a star in your hand, it doesn't fit in box 1. You're going back to your box.
Right.
That's why Brandon said it was basically like doing suicides uphill.
And so I don't understand. And the other thing that was lost on me, Jenna, was the fact, like, I know the pegs had to fit a certain way, but like they didn't really tell us at all how they like. What's his face? Ryan was saying he was doing like the penis test with his fingers. And by the way, I don't even remember how is that a penis? I thought it was this, by the way, growing up. This
don't
he
even know
like
what this
measured it
No,
like
I think
this. I'm like,
it's
that's how you measure a
thumbs
penis?
I
Did I
think
miss this? What's this? No, I saw it in the show, but did I miss this in like my
I
whole life?
said I'm just doing penises, like one penis, two penis.
Oh,
This is
I've never done that before.
supposedly growing up, like they always said this is the size of a guy's dick from here to here. That's what they like. This is my dick, right? Everyone can see it now.
Now I get it. So it's a measure.
But he was doing it like this. I'm like, who
measurable.
measured it like
I think
this?
he was making a joke that like it was big.
No,
Like,
but my point is though, like, I don't understand. They
or
didn't
is it-
explain how we were supposed to know how the different pegs were differently spaced.
Yeah.
No
They were
idea.
like, audience, sit there and just watch it. You don't need to know the rules of the game.
Right. But like what
No
saved
idea.
it was all the funniness of the thing. When didn't Tony pull the wrong flag down? Was it him?
Veronica, yeah, Tony
Most,
was
like-
Veronica.
The most
So
perfect,
Tony.
most perfect
Like
right
that's
for
that's
Tony
what
to
saved
come
it.
back
Yeah.
to the
Right.
game.
Oh, he's
You're
like,
like,
good
good.
job, you're not Veronica. Oh
And
my
he
god.
was doing the most theatrical, like heroic, jumping to the flag.
Slide.
And
Right.
like, oh, I'm so tired, but I did it. I'm crossing the finish line. I'm a winner. And then he pulls it and it's not even his name.
Yeah. And there's a lot of I love the setup of this season as far as like, hey, if you are in that bottom spot, you're going to maybe be in an elimination. Hello, why doesn't the regular challenge realize this is how it's supposed to be? It actually makes people want to play hard. And it's more exciting for us because we realize, okay, you didn't perform well today. You don't deserve to be a guaranteed spot because of politics. Now, obviously, there's still politics in this game, as you both brought up earlier, but this at least stops some of it, even though, of course, Leroy was in the bottom 3 in this one or 4 or whatever, and he skated out because he's got Cam and the rest. But still, at least he had the option. Oh my God, he could be one of the 3. And like, what if it was like Leroy and someone more popular, like a Tony and someone else? So it was like 3 popular guys down there. 2 of them guaranteed have to go down into the elimination. So it's not always going to work out for politic wise either.
Yeah, I wonder, just because you brought him up, is Tony popular with this cast?
I don't. I'm just trying to name someone else that could
Younger
be.
than them. I don't really think they've played with him outside
Well,
of
let's be honest, ladies. The women casting for this season is amazing, and the guy casting for this season, let's be honest, is hit or freaking miss.
Yeah.
I don't need to see Derek. I don't need to see Ryan. I don't need to see Tyree. He was always awful to show. Brandon too. Brandon was never a great competitor, and yet he's an all-star now.
Yeah.
Ace was never a great competitor. Let's be real. They just weren't, and they're all on the show now. Who are the name real quick? Who are the best competitors for guys? We have to go Tony, I guess. Brad for sure.
Brad, I guess Tony, just because he's in shape. I also have Tony and Nicole blindness. Like those 2 are interchangeable too.
You're hilarious. Like, what are you?
They're dumb and they cheat. It's like who, what? I literally was like, wait,
I get it.
Yeah.
I mean, are we not basing this physically on them at all?
World.
I mean,
but they are from the same real world.
Their personality, I associate that's what it is. It's not the
same.
And they've always been allies.
Yeah, I was gonna say, aren't they?
I mean, we got to put Leroy. Leroy has to be at the top.
Leroy.
I can't believe Leroy did so poorly in this challenge. I mean, I don't think it's because of his endurance. So that's why I think this challenge was so much more than endurance. Like you see Cara Maria kick ass as like you would assume, right? Because she's in amazing shape and she can run up and down these hills all day. But there also has to be some sort of strategy to it. And that's what I'm wondering too. When you say, we have to fill in the gaps, we don't know all the rules. It's like, can you see Cara go to a box, do some measuring, and then run down to her box with the stars? But when can you do that? Like, can you put a star down on box 3 and then run to box 4 and look at box 4?
Yeah,
or
so
do you
I
have
think
to go down, up, down, up? Like, I just don't know when they're allowed to look at the
and Cara definitely jumped ahead. Cara went and looked at the next box, measured it, and then went. So I think as long as you match the piece perfectly, you can go to the next box, study it, do your research, and then get what you think is the best for it. But I don't think she could have skipped ahead a couple.
And then you could get behind very easily, like in Leroy's case, if he can't get box number 1, like he's never gonna be able to even study the next boxes. So he's just like already out of the mix.
Well, in theory, it has to get easier as you go because there's only a certain amount of pieces in that box. So Leroy, if he tried out all 5 pieces for that first one, right? At least he has one done. Now there's at least one less piece in the box each time. Again, I don't know how he did so bad. But again, then a lot of people did bad. I mean, I don't know.
I was very surprised that Laurel, she just made it. She was like the last one or the second to last one of the women, she was almost in the bottom 4.
Yeah,
So
the
you have a lot of
bottom.
heavy hitters. Nicole, who is very in shape, super like, she works out. Um, her and Laurel were like the last 2 women to get
Yeah.
up there. So I
I
was
mean,
surprised.
but let's be honest here. If Laurel lost to the final 4 here, then we would have been in big trouble here. The final 4 for the women were Flora, Jasmine, Tina, and Veronica. So
Yeah.
Laurel better beat those 4. I'm sorry, Laurel, you deserve to go into elimination. We can't beat these 4 girls in an endurance-based competition. I know there's strategy to it. I
There's
get it.
more.
But
Yeah.
even if you mess up that star, you should still be able to gain speed
Yeah.
on them because you're running at such a quicker speed. You should be able to make up that time if you mess up a few
Who
stars.
was it? Tina, Veronica, Flora, and who?
Jasmine.
Jasmine, who
Jasmine.
We
again
got a great
is
shot of her just like
Jasmine.
yeah.
catching her breath. I love Jasmine so much. I will
No, and
take
I think
the show
personality
every
wise, she's
season.
good for the
Yes,
show, but
personality wise,
Yeah.
Jasmine show up every season. But yeah, she I don't know. Well, also, how do you prepare for it? Sounded really hot, it sounded
yeah.
really hot that day, and they're in South Africa and they're running uphill. Like how
Look, if you are
uphill.
entertaining though, I honestly don't mind if you're not that great of a challenger as long as you're
Right.
entertaining. I'm sick and tired of like these new age people coming on where it's like you bring nothing to the table
Yeah.
and you're not really that good at a
Right.
challenge either. And like
You have
even
to have
like
one or the other. Even what's his name, our winner of last season, whose name I've already forgotten.
Emmanuel,
Emmanuel.
Oh,
At
that's
least
so
he was good. Like after the final, we're like, at
still
least
but
he's good at the final.
I know, but like that, even like him and like Casey, like I don't ever need it. I don't care that they're champions. I never want to see them on the show again. I don't care. That's the problem, right? Like you can be really good at all this stuff, but if you bring nothing to the table to entertain me as a viewer, I'm just watching. So I'll go watch basketball or the NFL. That's where I can see my people that are really good at stuff. For this show, you can be bad at it, but be hilarious or be just entertaining. And that's why when you get like a Wes or Bananas who have both of the things, you just appreciate it so much more. Even now, Cara, who it's like, it's going to be hard for me to hate Cara again
Yeah.
because she's so entertaining and good at the show. Like, I don't know if I can get around to that. We'll have to see.
And
And from what I
CT.
can tell, alliance wise, I feel like Cara's pretty rogue. We saw
Yes.
speaking to like the threesome, let's just call them the threesome or the 3 best friends. We know that's Rachel, Veronica, Tina. We saw her chatting with them, but she's not really in that crowd. So neither is Avery. I'm like, why, Cara, Avery? Come on.
I was
Why
gonna
are
bring
we
that
not,
up tonight.
why are we not?
Why no, Pamela?
Oh,
No,
because I don't think that those two would like be friendly at all. Like
you don't
first
need to
of
be
No,
friendly.
you
You just
need
need to
all, no,
be
but
numbers.
but
You need
Cara,
numbers.
I don't know. I don't know, but I think unfortunately, because Avery is one that I was like, Avery, so excited to see. I hope she sticks around long, but I have a feeling she won't be there long. But I don't know.
Look,
I don't I don't
here's
know
the
how
thing. Here's the thing. She has to
possible.
lose to someone in an elimination. And we saw it in episode 2. I didn't see Laurel and Nicole trying to jump down there and get their star. I think everyone's going to be gunning for like the tail end of the season. But let's also remember, there's only going to be 10 episodes this season. And I'm purely basing that on the fact that seasons 1, 2, and 3 of All Stars were all 10 episodes. So why would they change the formula now? They brought in 24 cast members, just like seasons 1, 2, and 3. All right. And it looks like they only want 6 people in the finals. And so that's what it's going to be. I'm 10 episodes. This is the 1-hour episode each week. I love that. Do you notice that nothing was boring tonight? There wasn't 3 different scenes in a row of them strategizing on who they should pick to go down there. No, they get right to nominations and they pick the 2 damn people. Take notes, challenge season 40. God.
Yes. Dan, also, but this is the answer. In my heart, I feel like Veronica, we know Veronica, Rachel, Tina obviously are, remember the season of like good guys and bad guys?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
like Cara's
yeah.
a bad guy too. She belongs with them. And like I was just so excited to see Cara and Rachel teaming up because let's be real, Rachel, Tina, and Veronica may be your besties, but as Dan already said, if you're winning every week, you want to be making decisions with Jenna, come back. You want to
I'm
be
here.
you want to be making decisions with someone that's also maybe going to win and be in the final with you. Like you might, Rachel and Cara pairing up is very smart for Rachel and Cara. And like, there's only so much Rachel can do every week to save Veronica and
Look,
Tina.
there's only
I feel like I will admit they don't want to run the. I feel like Veronica's like, I'm getting a fucking paycheck. I'm in South Africa. Fuck you all. Like, I'll stay as long as I want, and as long as my friends keep me
And
here.
also, Veronica made mention, you know, in her confessional, she made mention that, like, yeah, we all love each other, but it's a game. So I think it sounded like there could be some holes in that alliance too. Like, they're not totally bound to each other, but I don't know. They have good numbers, so this should be for a while. But I just so think that Cara and Avery should team up. Like, what are they doing by not working together?
They would gel at all.
But it doesn't matter. You need numbers. It doesn't matter.
But Cara has Cam and Laurel, and she's more old school. I think Avery will fall with, I don't know. We're gonna have to see who parts, but definitely guys.
Question.
I think Avery will like get close with like maybe a Steve and a Brandon, like those kinds of guys. Like, she kind of leaves Melinda of this season. She's from that same season. She doesn't really have close girlfriends there.
Wait. Well, no, Melinda's from Austin. Avery's from the Portland season, right? With Johnny and Jordan and Naya and them. Yeah.
Forget it. Danny and Jordan are also sometimes interchangeable to me. Like,
oh, wait,
yes. Okay.
We know for a fact, maybe I'm missing this, that Cara does have Laurel. Do we know that they are friends this season?
That's the question, because at the reunion for season 39, they were, I don't know. They were fine.
They were like in love for them. They're both cold bitches. They're both like so icy cold. For Laurel saying love never dies, they're like best friends now, I think. They were best friends and then they hated each other.
All right. Well,
Laurel was talking for Cara. No, I think they get really close this season, because it seems like in real life they like.
I wasn't sure if they were allies or not. I guess there's a lot we don't know yet. Well, we haven't seen how all of the dynamics in the house are.
The reason I'm so high on Avery too is because if you look at who won this endurance-based challenge, it's Cara, Avery, and Rachel. And I'm sorry, but that, no matter what, there's no way the final is not going to have some type of endurance, and it's going to come in huge as always. So if those are your top three girls for endurance wise, Cara, Avery, and Rachel, I put a lot of stock into them if they can get a star, because that's the star, if you haven't realized, is the equalizer for the season, because they realize the athletic ability of these people it's a spectrum. We've got a spectrum, people, and we need to try to equalize this, because if you look at the guys, Brad, Adam, and Brandon, for the guys are, to me, the guys are such a toss-up too, with like, because I'm shocked that Leroy and even, I mean, Ace kind of always is kind of blah, but Leroy for sure, he wasn't even close to that top three. Like, what? I don't know. The guys are a long shot. I don't know.
Because one of probably the oldest guy there, Keefla, came in fourth. He was just outside of being in the winner's circle.
I think Keefla wants to prove himself too. I'm excited to see what he can do.
But me too, because one, I mean, you can still be in great shape. I'm not trying to dismiss that or like look down on him just because he's one of the older guys there. But on the surface level, you would think that would be a significant influence on him, like just not being as competitive as the rest of the guys. But totally, he proved that to be completely wrong.
Yeah.
It was all uphill sprints, and he came in fourth before Tony, before Leroy, before like these young guys who look like they're still in great shape.
Yeah, I mean, Jay's a fireman apparently, so he should be doing okay. No, I mean, what the hell?
I mean, I'm thinking like the mental strategy to this was a really huge factor too. Or maybe almost like a bit of luck too, right? Like, and again, I'm not discrediting anybody, but I wonder if like sometimes like you're just in that groove, like, oh, that star fit, yes, on to the next one, like as much as you measure them out, sometimes maybe the puzzle piece just fits and you're like, sick, I'm out of here. Yeah. But and Adam too. Adam is one of the older guys too. So, and he came in second, I think, right?
Adam came in second, correct.
Adam, yes, who I don't, he's one that I'm like, who the fuck is Adam?
Yeah, me too. So
I love him. He seems adorable.
I had to eat like all of my original thoughts of being like, oh my God, what a mixed bag of people. You really think this person's going to compete with that person? Yeah. Not only do they compete, they beat the people who they should have lost to. So good for like these older, the older guys.
Yeah.
All right. So I think that we covered everything there. Now they have to go back to the house and nominate. What's that?
Oh, Yeah, I was like, elimination.
Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah, now we're on nominations though. Yeah.
Okay,
So
nominations.
basically it's a guys. They announce it's a guy day. So Flora, Jasmine, Tina, and Veronica just get to. Who cares if I got last place now? And maybe hopefully TJ mixes that up, because in theory now, if they just go back and forth male female, then the females, when they don't have to worry about being, it doesn't matter, it only matters for half the cast. So I'm hoping TJ throws a wrench, chain in that wrench, a wrench in that chain, wrench in that chain,
Mention the
That's-
plans.
and does something with that. But anyway, so you got Derek, Leroy, Tyree, and Steve. And who do they vote? They vote in Tyree and Steve,
Yes.
because Derek and Leroy have the numbers. That's what it came down to, basically.
Yeah, I mean, Cam's strategy was funny though. She's like, "Can it just not be Leroy?"
Not be Leroy.
I'm like, awkward.
How does that
That's
sound?
probably a sales pitch. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tyree and
as-
Steve just had like no ties in the house though.
Yeah, as far as the elimination goes, did you really think that that was edited? I mean, I should have looked better to see, because I mean, what's his face made a huge comeback, obviously, Steve.
I think
if
it
it's
was
real.
genuine. Honestly, I think it was organic just because you see everybody's face as it's happening.
Yeah.
You see like Cam had an amazing face, Laurel, they're all like, what the hell's going on? Like,
Yeah.
but also it had me thinking, not that I'm some genius strategist, I'm not. I probably would not have thought to do what Steve did. That was great on his part. But it's funny because you're like, you're looking at some of the best competitors up there in the audience looking down, and they're all like shocked, right? Like, how is this happening? And you're thinking like, would you think that he would strategize that way? You know what I mean? Like,
I guess they don't, but wasn't he only prior to the last All-Stars, I think, that he was on? Wasn't he like on the first season of something? He's another one that I didn't know until his All-Star season, I think.
Yeah,
right?
he hasn't been around for a really long
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, so I don't think anyone really knows him or what he's, again, was my wild card the season.
Me
he
too.
Was on. And he sort of, I don't even remember. I feel like he played wildly, like he was hit or miss. Sometimes he was good and sometimes he wasn't.
He went home pretty early, yeah.
Yeah, he went home pretty early, but that's also because no one knows who he is.
I mean, it was a really great strategy, executed it perfectly,
Yeah.
because Tyree was killing it. Like, oh my God. And then Steve had such a massive comeback. To make it tied was very
like
entertaining.
9-3 for a
And
while.
and
I mean,
thank God they told us that rule. I didn't know that was a rule, that you could only bring up one ball at a time. So immediately when he said that, I'm like, oh, that's exactly what I would have done then. If I found a couple balls, I would have just left them. I would have tried to keep them away from Tyree and quiet about it, and then just boom, 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 3 times up and down. Like, bring them right to the bottom, bring them to the base of your pole, and just leave them there, hop in and out of the water. I mean, that seems like a no-brainer to me, but I didn't know that rule when it started. All right, but I didn't know that was even an option. I thought you could just bring them all up at the same time if you found them, but no, apparently one at a time was the rule. And see, that's what's missing. Why don't they explain the rules a little more to us as the audience members too? What do you think?
It's funny that you guys aren't getting it, because I always just chalk it up to like me not getting it when it doesn't make sense. I'm like, I just can't follow.
No, I usually do that too.
I'm like,
no, there's definitely a part of that too.
I was like, I'm not even gonna try. I'm just gonna enjoy the show. I didn't even put the stars on the face.
So well, because I think that I would be nervous about pulling it off. Like if my competitor is looking at me like hoarding all these balls, like we see him at one point go to use his t-shirt. He says, I got to do another strategy. He rips off his t-shirt, but then we see seconds later his t-shirt is removed. So obviously producers were like, no, you can't use your t-shirt, right?
That was a good idea, because Tyree's so much bigger than him, just his wingspan. It's like, if you can gather all the balls, you're gonna find the stars first.
And I would think that they would be on top of each other. So like if Steve is now taking an arms full of balls, I would think Tyree would just be like right on his heels, like pecking at him, basically like looking at what he's doing. But somehow Steve is able to collect all of these balls. I would think it would be kind of hard to pull off. It seems like an easy strategy. You're right, Dan, in hindsight. And that's why I said, like, how are all these top tier competitors so like, what's going on? It's like, you probably would think about that if you were in the pool.
Right. And it's a floating ball. So it doesn't mean that it's
hard to do. Yeah.
It doesn't mean it's going to be in the exact same position as you left it when moving in water. So, but as long as it's in the general vicinity, I feel like you can try to make that work or whatever. But overall, like if it really did happen the way it was, I was like at the edge of my seat. Like, is Steve really going to come back and win and beat this guy? But he did.
It's very slow, dramatic drop of the last ball.
Oh, that was great. Oh, that was good.
Himself so seriously winning this, and I was like, good for you, I guess. Like,
I thought it was good TV.
Being like, sorry, Tyree. Like, I didn't think he was being like
Well, the
egotistic
music
feeling, you
again
know?
that played for him. He said, "I imagined the Danzig song playing," and and they did that for
No,
him.
to
So
me, no, to me, it did play as like a better like next time, bro. I like the
yeah,
play.
I
I thought it
did
Wow,
played
think it was
okay.
great.
like a mic drop. Yeah, it seemed
Yeah, it was
like
a
Okay.
mic drop. Yeah, to me. But if
I
you
read it wrong
perceived
then.
it a different way, that's fine too. But yeah,
I
to
took
me,
it as like a, oh shit, sorry, bro.
here I
Like,
go.
like
Yep, it's like
I got it. Yeah.
uh,
Like
anyways,
it is what
any
it is, you
other
know? Because Tyree kind of just responded like, all right, you got it, you know?
Yeah, he did. He did. So then he goes, now that Steve wins, he gets to steal a star and he steals Brandon's star. So that's something we should take note of.
question. Did
And like
Brandon say at some point? Because I was like, did I make that up? Was Brandon like, "Well, I'm safe. Steve would never take my star"? Or did that I
I
made
didn't
that?
remember
Okay,
that. I remember Brandon saying, now I'm going to come for you. But at the same
You just
time,
thought that in your head, Pam?
I thought someone had said that about that Steve and them were really close. Someone, Adam, maybe.
Oh, I don't remember that.
I
um,
don't.
but
Maybe.
the reason, Pam, this goes back to what you had said about Tina stealing Avery's star. In theory, if you're right about that, I guess you could be right about this one too, because I do think that Brandon might be the least amount of a threat to try to take back that star from Steve, because you have Brad and Adam as the other two. Brad, for sure, I would not touch Brad's star. But Adam, I mean, Adam or Brandon, I guess, in theory. But I do think that Adam, I think that he might do some stuff. I think he looks pretty
He
good out
might be
there.
like that guy on the USA challenge or whatever the last one was called that kept winning, even though they kept putting him in.
Oh, Chris.
Challenge USA, yeah,
Chris.
Chris,
Yeah.
that one. Maybe
Yeah,
he'll
Chris.
But
be like
it's hard for me to trust Brandon. I know that he has not had a good challenge career. I remember him back in the day always going just like same with like a Tyree, they and a Derek, in a Ryan. Like these guys, none of them have really ever been good at the show. That's
Yeah,
just is what it
I've
is.
never advanced far. But wait,
Never
this
have.
is a stupid question because I understand you obviously don't want people who win constant challenges and eliminations. You don't want to be on their bad side. You don't want them targeting you.
Right.
But really, like, what's the harm? You have to steal a star, you
That's
know?
my point.
Someone
Yes.
like Brad and Kara, why does anybody actually care if they take a star from them?
And that's my point too.
we
Like
kiss, it's human
You don't
nature.
want to piss them off, but like, I don't know.
they have to get
Oh,
it. My point is you want
It's
to take
early.
it. I know it's early. I agree with you on that one, Pam. But I think overall, though, I think it's going to be pretty hard to get a star. Once a star is stolen from you, this isn't like a super easy task to get one back. You have to go down and fight. So my point is, wouldn't you rather have a bunch of crappy people have the stars so that at the end, if you can luckily get one, you get to face crappy people in the final? It's not good for us as viewers, but you're trying to win $250,000. There's a snot ton of money here. Let's be real.
That is a really good strategy and a long-term gameplay. Like
But
you're
this
thinking,
isn't long term, Pam.
that's
There's
what I'm
only
saying.
10
Well, that's what I'm
episodes.
saying. So they want themselves and the people they care about to get stars ASAP. So for right now, Rachel's like, fuck yes. Right now in the challenge, currently, right now, like you start off with an A, it's up to you if you keep it. It's like that. Like right now, Rachel and Tina are going to the challenge. And that's the way she wants to keep it. And add Veronica.
And guess who else is going there? If it starts tomorrow, Car is going there. And guess what, Tina? Congratulations. You might win $10,000 if you make it to the end. That's all you're going to get. You're not beating
Rachel
them.
knows she's going to be beating her two besties, so she's
I
fine
guess
with
the other thing is, right? Like, it's gonna be, no one's gonna have a star for a long time, really. You know, like your star is so easy to lose that if you steal it from a big name, if they can just go get a new one by winning
You
a
know what you
daily.
need to do,
No, you
Jenna?
have to go
No,
into
you don't get it anymore from winning because
sorry, but you have to go into elimination. So I guess it's like in order to get a star, you have to go into elimination. And then your star gets stolen from you, right? Well, what do you have to do? You have to go into elimination again. So I guess the point is
Or you can win but you could also, can't you win it? Don't you, if you win a daily, don't you have an option to then put yourself down in the elimination? So that's how you get a star back, right? Isn't that how it's going to work?
Or if you already have one, then it protects your star. If you win the daily, then no one can come for your star. But I guess the point is
right.
like,
But my point
there
is like,
isn't really any fear for going for a big name in this game. You have to go into elimination. So it doesn't matter if you piss off a big name.
right.
You're going to be scared they're going to throw you in. You can't help it anyway. You have to go in.
In theory,
you could get one for, oh no, you have to. So is that, sorry.
you need to win a daily. Like if you win a daily, like the last daily challenge, like episode 9 or 10 or whatever, then if you don't have a star, you can throw yourself down elimination, you can win, and then you just steal someone else, and then boom, you're in a final. So the most important daily is that last one, really. Just win that one, you're good to go, at least to get to an elimination. Or if you win the last daily and you have a star, boom, you're safe and automatically guaranteed the final 2. So
or
that's
Sarah could win every single daily. She could just protect her star.
every time, every damn time. Yes, exactly.
But they play, it's one of those games again, like free agents where, it's every man for themselves, like at the end of it all, but they also are working in teams, they on episode 2, the challenge, they're in a team. So sometimes it's going to be all individual.
So let's jump to that then. They do put them as teams for the daily number 2 here. I wasn't a fan of this daily at all. Just the humor parts of it. I think they were fighting in the car. That was a funny car moment where they all started to fight with each other. Like, are we there yet? You're not touching me. I'm not touching you. That was funny. The math stuff is funny when they're dumb at math. But the overall concept of the challenge, like if you're gonna put them high in the sky, do something more like that. You're just sitting, you could have put them on the ground and spun them around. You don't have to, like, I don't like a visual. I want them to do something with, like when Leroy was like, oh my God, we're going in the sky again. Remember my last time on the challenge where I fell out of a thing? Well, that's not going to happen this time. You're locked inside safely in a car with the windows rolled up. Like, it was a visual thing. It was boring.
I mean, I liked it because the math brought out some good humor. We got to see.
Well, you don't need a crane in the car for that though, Jenna. That's my point.
Okay, true. True. But when the first group went, I was thinking like, wow, yeah, this would be really difficult to try to remember all of these numbers so quickly in a row. And again, you don't know this going into it, but the strategy could have been like each person take 1 or 2 stations that TJ says, so that they all only have to remember one. But it works out they can just go listen to it anyway, and it just turns out to be more of a math issue than a memory game. So
do you think that was in the original rules that they were allowed to go back and listen, or did the producers step in and say, y'all are never going to figure this out, go back to the car? I don't know if that was an original thing or if they changed the rule, and that might have been written into the script as well, like, hey, if they can't figure it out, we're going to allow them to do this. But I think it was a last minute, like, shoot, go back.
Tough memory game though. You're getting so many random numbers thrown at you, and then you have to do the math of them. That would be so hard to remember. Because
why didn't they do what you said, Jenna? You memorized it. Whatever numbers they say first, that's yours.
You don't know when you're going into it how hard it's going to be,
And there was more. It was like on Chantilly Lane, I saw 100 ducks flying, like where that's where it's like, wait, what is it? And then it was suitcases, like does something
on the suitcase, Pam, it said the name of those things,
a sticker though. So it'd be like you're listening to whatever radio station, then you go find the sticker of that radio station divided by what's that, carpe diem, 3 random numbers, and then you do the math. I would need to be on a team for this.
Oh God.
I could not do this alone. I would be there. Look, I could get to it, but it would take me 2 hours.
I could get to it with like a calculator on my phone.
I could get to the math, but I need a pen and paper and some time. I can't do it in my mind quickly. So I'm incredibly impressed by people who are great at math, like Ayanna. She was really good. That's the only one that's
Laurel worked well with Jay.
Really good at math.
Laurel and Jay worked well together.
Laurel and Jay were really good at it, yes. And thank God for them, because you think Tony and Nicole were doing the math for that. Right. So thank God. Yeah. Also, I love Keith Split. Okay, flexible.
Yes.
He's so well-rounded, smart, has endurance, is strong, flexible, can do splits. So
well, there's in theory, there's your male version of your underdog. However, him and Avery both have no alliances, so we'll see if that can get him. But yeah, Keith looks like he is in pretty damn good shape for a 50-year-old-ish. So there you go.
God, guys, one day we're gonna be. That's why I'm trying not to harp on the age too much.
I'm not that far away. Jeez.
I would say that I'm closer now to their ages than to like like Moira or whatever her name, Mariah. Like,
We're
I
back
know
on the
Moira than
Moira.
Myra.
Oh my God.
Every
Mariah.
time you say that name, I
Mariah.
just think of Wendy from Peter Pan now because yeah.
Oh,
But
Well,
the
I
big
won't
thing,
say Wendy. Her full name is Wendy Moira Angela
oh,
Darling, and you go always like, how do y'all know that? I'm like, well, I'm Disney Dan. That's how I know that.
yeah.
right. I
Anyways,
forgot that. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
how dare you forget Wendy's
Wendy
name?
Darling. It's Wendy Darling, though, right? I know her last
Well,
name.
if you the shortened version, of course, yes.
It's okay. But I just feel so bad for them watching them do math because it's like, fuck this, fuck this. I didn't come here to do
Yeah.
math.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, again, I didn't really enjoy this daily, but the dynamics of everybody, that's what's making this, that's what makes the challenge in general work. And I really hope they get back to it. And like, by the way, like when I was watching like the 5 minutes of Bloodlines, that turned into like 20, 30 minutes of Bloodlines because I couldn't stop watching. And they went to like this party on the beach and they're all in bikinis and bathing suits. And Johnny Bananas is doing like the ass cam and he has like a GoPro and he's finding girls in the water and going up to their ass. And he went up to Anissa's ass and he goes, Anissa, I just need to get permission to put your ass on camera. And she goes, you got permission or whatever she says. And it's like, they don't do that stuff anymore. Not that it's like necessarily like.
They don't sexually harass women anymore.
No,
like
listen, I'm not saying, you didn't let me finish. I was going to say, I'm not saying it's right, but the essence of because obviously Anissa and Bananas are friends, so they're having fun with it. They're just joking around.
Yeah.
The essence of the joke and the fun of the life that's having fun is gone. So
And I think not lighthearted sexual harassment anymore.
there you go.
Right.
You forgot the lighthearted
the
part.
line of harassment anymore. No, because I will say I watched what's the one when Rivals 2, when Jenna's with Vince and Bananas is with Sarah, and Bananas, he was telling Jenna, he's like, Jenna, I need you to wear your skimpiest bathing suit because him and Vince and Jenna and Sarah and Ashley and Corey get to go on a boat for a day because they were winners, right? So they got like a prize of going on a boat. And he's like, I need you to wear your skimpiest bathing suit because I want them to roll up thinking we brought our like finest hookers. And I was just like, shut up.
That's another level.
To her. Like as if she's just like some piece of meat that you can.
Well, she is. Of all people, I remember Jenna being, I think, bragging and being, I don't like Jenna, but Jenna being like happy that Zach liked her ass. Like that was happy.
Well, okay, but if it's a love interest,
Jenna was probably like, okay. I don't know. It's hard looking back with the lens.
But yeah, that's so. It's the fact that Bananas was doing that.
Yeah,
I get it. It is fun, Dan. I totally get it. Like I do like that more like college party style TV, but yeah, he crossed the line a lot of times as well.
Of course he did. But then again, we kept watching. Like it's hard. It's like did someone turn it off and say enough is enough? Or it's hard to, that line is really
it's a very interesting, I don't know.
Because then you hate Bananas, right? Like I honestly hated Bananas his entire career. I was a Wes guy. Not that Wes is perfect in any regard with being, Mr. appropriate, but at the same time, I always hated Bananas and I always liked Wes. But now it's like watching Bananas on the Villain show. I'm like, and even in later seasons too, I'm like, I love watching him now. It is what it is. I don't know.
He understands the assignment. He's amusing.
Yeah.
I like seeing Leroy without Bananas because I feel like so much of Leroy's games have always been intertwined with Bananas.
Yeah, well, let's get into that then. Let's get into this. Speaking of Leroy, let's talk about Ayanna and all the crap that she was stirring up throughout this episode. She blatantly lies and says that Janelle, because it's Janelle, Jasmine, and I wrote it down, I'm sure. Janelle, Jasmine, and Tina.
Veronica and Tina are the. Why is Veronica?
No, not Veronica. Veronica's fine. Tina, Jasmine, and Janelle are the bottom three for this challenge.
Yep.
So the two of the three of them are going into the elimination that we know for sure now. And so Janelle's like, I'm over this crap. You can put me in. Ayanna goes around at the club and says, hey, she wants to go against you, Jasmine, because you suck more than anybody, or whatever the hell she said. All blatant lies. And it literally causes Janelle to be like, I'm over it and go home. I'm like, Janelle, stick around. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Come on,
Yeah,
don't
I
let
mean,
this BS. And I really liked Ayanna in the last season of All Stars. Remember in the elimination she had, like she did not give up. I remember her just going all in. I really liked Ayanna, and I freaking can't stand her now. And it really sucks what's happening in her real life. I'm sure you girls heard that she has breast cancer, and it's absolutely awful what's happening in real life. Like really not good shit. But not based on that. Like
But we're
her.
separating that
Let's
from what
separate that,
shit
please,
crazy she is in
because
this episode.
garbage.
Yeah.
And someone brought it up like, hey, I know we're playing for $250,000 and anything goes, but like on another, like this was just like ridiculously like
Well,
crap.
there's two things that are ridiculous. One, and I don't know why they needed to do a little bit better job. This would be my one complaint. My one downfall is why is Ayanna have it out for Janelle so hard that she's making
What
up
is that?
and
What
scoring? Right,
I
like
don't know. Listen, I don't think
Janelle
she has
doesn't seem
it
to
out
know
for
either.
Janelle. I think that she's just playing a game, and
But
it
why did she have to do that, Jenna? Because she wasn't even involved in that. She's guaranteed to be safe. It's one of those three girls going to eliminations. She picked on Janelle for a reason. I'm with Pam on this. I think it was from
And Janelle
another
said,
season. I think it's from another season of All Stars or something when they both did All Stars 2 together. I think they were both on that one where Janelle went really far and made it to the end. They had all the issues with the math, and we thought we'd never see Janelle again because Janelle came out and she was saying all the behind the scenes bullshit that happened and that Janae and MJ shouldn't even have won the damn thing.
right,
So
right.
I'm surprised they even invited Janelle back. This should have been Janelle's redemption season. So the fact that
yeah.
she left, that's a whole nother issue I have with Janelle for that. She should have stuck around. But anyways,
Mhm.
I think that she was picked out by Ayanna, like
Oh,
what you're
definitely.
saying, Pam. But I don't get what the
Well,
F happened.
Janelle said, I don't think I made this up. I think this really happened. Janelle said, Ayanna has it out for me. She has since whatever.
What?
But she's like,
Why?
I don't know why. So we don't really even know why.
I
But
think something happened in All Stars 2 that we're just forgetting because
I want to hear
did
from
did
Ayanna.
Ayanna make it to the final as well and then like get eliminated halfway through it because she didn't complete something or something, or did she not make it? I don't know. But she had it out for Janelle for some reason. We don't tell us in the
Definitely it's
comments
out for Janelle.
below.
Tell us in the comments.
Yeah.
I think
So
would have shown a flashback. I think they would have done a
they,
black
they,
and white flashback.
They
they
should have if
mentioned
there was
something, I
something.
promise. There definitely is a personal reason, but I don't.
Right, but I wonder if it wasn't something that we really saw as viewers, you know what I mean? Or if it wasn't like as explosive as for TV as it was
I
in
want to
real
hear
life.
what
Like,
Ayanna's
the cameras,
reason is.
like, because
I just
I don't
want
know if it
the
works on
producers
this
to
show.
ask
I don't
her.
know if they have cameras in the house 24/7 on these shows anymore.
Probably.
It's like we said, it looks like, oh, now they're having breakfast. Oh, now they're by the pool. So it does look more scheduled and structured. It doesn't just look like hitting cams and like they're being followed
Yeah,
24/7.
which that's what they need to go back to for 100%.
So
Yeah.
if Ayanna and Janelle have, something from a past season or they have tension or a problem, it could have been something that we didn't see, or like,
I get totally. I just wish that on this episode, a producer was like, Ayanna, why are you saying this shit about Janelle?
yeah,
And she was
yeah,
like, is it true? No, it's like, I want them to have been like, why Janelle? Just that
yeah.
would have been
I
enough.
mean,
Like,
I think Ayanna's defense was, I'm just playing a game. Like,
great,
I know
but why
I'm
are you
lying,
singling
uh,
out this person to
but I don't think she'll
make up
own
a
up to it.
complete lie
I'm sure she
about?
was asked, and I think that that was her answer, was like, I know I'm lying, I'm just playing a game. I came to play, I came to win. I don't think she would acknowledge like that she's singling out Janelle, you know?
Well, yeah. So, well, she made up Janelle's story that I was impressed with some people sussing out that that was a total lie. He's like, it sounds like this
Yeah.
is telephone,
Because
but
it's not a believable lie, honestly. Like, no offense to Jasmine, but saying like, "Oh, I want to go against somebody who is perceived as weaker in the house," would not be a hard thing to believe. So
Right.
it's definitely easy to believe
it's
that.
just
The
fucked
the
up. I
problem
feel
was
bad for
though is
Janelle.
that it's like Tina's not that. I mean, who knows? But I don't really think Tina's
Right.
that great either. If there was like Rachel in there or something, then the lie that Ayanna could tell would be much more believable. And if she was maybe a little smarter about it and didn't have it such a want to get Janelle out so badly, she could have waited till another girl elimination or even a guy elimination when there was three more bigger competitors down there, and then really try to throw someone on the bus to make it more believable. But yeah, because this wasn't that. I'm like, okay,
No,
Jasmine
and
and Tina, they both kind of suck. So whatever.
really got into Janelle's head, man, because she came from like, oh, I want to go down there, throw me in. I'm ready to get my star. That's how badly I want it, is I want to volunteer into elimination, to then leaving, like polar opposite sides, So Ayanna, that really did a number on her.
Yeah, it doesn't feel good to be the target of a lie, like a complete blatant lie,
Yeah.
and that's making it where you did something mean to someone else. We're sort of being, it's a terrible feeling. I mean,
I'm just
I feel like,
surprised, like,
I think Ayanna's
why
here
do
for
you
that. I
think
don't think Janelle should have left, but
why do you think it affected Janelle so badly though? Like, who gives a crap? No one believed Ayanna by the end of it, anyways. And if what's her face had stuck around, they would have seen how did she leave before nominations? No, no. Everyone saw.
No.
Wait. What was the order here?
Yeah.
Because
yeah,
Ayanna's
she was
Ayanna's
gone
coming off as.
already.
I'm sorry.
I don't remember.
Because
Go
my
ahead.
point is, if Janelle was there for nominations, everyone saw how batshit crazy Ayanna was coming off. No one would believe her, even if she like Ayanna. You're
Right
telling me
after
that she
that.
wants Jasmine, but you're also saying all this other crap. No, there's no way. Janelle should not have left. No one believed this crap, anyways. But Janelle also
We're
wanted
starting
to.
to believe it at first, though. Like people
At
had some,
first,
yeah.
it makes sense, but Ayanna's, what it was like the
No, she was
Oscar.
still there because then it was her. It was going to be Janelle versus Tina, and then Janelle went home, and then Tina just got to see what happened, and then she just lucked
I
out.
think she was thinking like this is only week one and that this is what I'm gonna have to deal with the whole time I'm here. I'm out. I got a life. I got a family. I don't need to be gaslit and
Yeah.
have rumors spread
Still
about.
though, I know that it's just a game, but it's a game for $250,000, Janelle, that
Yeah.
I honestly think that you had a good, not a great chance because it's only 6 of them, but a good chance. There's a lot of other weaker female competitors as far as I'm concerned than Janelle. Janelle made it to a final already in All Stars. She could have done it again. And honestly, if you make a final, I'm sorry, but everyone should be crossing that line. You're
Yeah.
guaranteed 10K. I will run forever for $10,000. Bring it on. I'm in. Get me to a final. I'll make 10K.
But I will also say, I feel bad for Janelle because obviously she had such a sense, an emotional reaction to it. But and Ayanna doesn't look good for a lot of things she's doing, but this was great TV. It was
So
one great
good.
entertainment. And also like she got caught, but not the worst attempt of a gameplay
She
either,
still got rid of Janelle. That's not bad at all.
She got
Now,
rid of Janelle. That's what she won.
and
Whatever
Janelle's a good
she won.
competitor, like we said. So my point is, though, is like, yeah, this is. I don't like Ayanna, but she's the entertaining person I don't like. Like I'm sick and tired of seeing like people I don't like a Casey. I'm like, you're just boring. Ayanna,
No.
I really don't like her right now for what she did, but man, it was entertaining to watch because
Yeah.
Leroy was a great reaction
But
because
listen,
Leroy
like,
gave the reaction.
She's
she's coming across as a villain, but again, this is a game for $250,000. So like, yeah, you do have to do some villainous things sometimes. So I almost like can't hate the game move that she's trying to make.
I mean,
no, but then
but
the
Jenna,
speech
either way,
the
my point is though,
nomination.
with that game move, either way, someone was going home and it wasn't going to be Ayanna. So why make that game move? It didn't matter. Someone was guaranteed going home. It's like if Ayanna was on the chopping block, then there's your move. But she wasn't even. I don't understand
Yeah.
there's
She
something with
wanted
her.
Janelle gone. She wanted Janelle gone, and that's what we have to get to the bottom of why she's
All right.
anti-Janelle. But again, I think she's a little cray-cray, so it's hard to say what
Yeah.
her motivations
Well,
are. But
she definitely does not do herself any favors at the nomination ceremony when
No.
she
oh my
takes
god,
the floor for 45 minutes and then tells Leroy, how dare you disrespect everybody's time.
she's like Oscar speak when they start playing the music at the Oscars.
Oh,
It's like I love
great
that.
editing.
Yeah, she was like, "You will not take away my time." Like it's not. It was bad shit. I mean, it was fun to watch. But yes, and Leroy was all of us. Like everyone is like, "What is even happening here?" And she just kept going.
Yep. So we've covered everything else all the way to the end now. So just we're not going to go quite yet. We definitely have to talk about like what we think is going to happen. Will there be anything like crazy, any twists or turns? I know that we like TJ always likes to make his move halfway through with something. But before we get to that, are there any other final thoughts on the rest of this episode? Because we already technically covered it, but I want to leave room for anybody else if you have any final thoughts.
Just final thoughts were again, love the girl cast. The guy cast is fine. For a hand model, don't you guys think, is it just because I'm looking at them more than I would usually look at a guy's hands? But Steve's hands feel like unusually small to me. Like I feel like they're like the size
They
of my
were, Pamela, I'm glad you brought that up. They were, they came off as, I don't want to say they came off as feminine, but they weren't like to me, they didn't look like a masculine hand. And I guess that's what you
very
don't want to
little.
have like, I don't want to say warts or like I have calluses all on my hand from working out. Like his seemed very.
Probably, if his career is being a hand model, he probably.
I mean, I'm also not. I can never be a hand
manicures.
model either, though, because I have a toe thumb, so it won't work. Look,
Ew.
look at the differences in my hand.
What do you mean?
Oh, sorry. Oh.
Look at the difference.
Ew.
Look at the difference in my thumbs.
Mutant. Put your mutant thumbs away.
No,
I've
this
known
one's
you.
normal. This one's a toe thumb. I got one normal. Wait, no. This is normal. This one's a toe thumb.
Dan,
How
your
are they
genetics are
never-
strange.
Well,
you've
why
got
would we ever look? Why would we ever talk about the fact that one of my thumbs is regular and one is a
I don't
stumpy?
know.
Something that's noticeable, I guess, is what I'm saying. Is we
I guess, yeah.
a lot
So
of time.
Megan Fox has two toe thumbs. She actually has them on both. I only have them on.
Fun fact: the more you
Just
know.
that term
Well,
is gross.
I
Don't
have
say
different
term.
colored. I have different colored eyes. I've told you
No.
I'm two different
now.
people in a way. So
All right, guys, I have to wrap this
Oh,
up.
Marvel.
I do have a baby to feed.
Okay.
right.
All right.
There,
So
there.
that, yeah, love everything. Super happy about it. Excited. Ayanna, what? Libra, yay. Those were all my final thoughts. Oh, and Jay, one shot, one kill. That's what Jay said, one shot, one kill. I was like, oh, Jay.
Oh, Jay, one shot, one
All right,
kill.
so let's do this instead then. Leave in the comment section. I don't want no spoilers, obviously, but what you think. Will TJ try to mix up the format? Because he said it's going to be single all the way through. Everyone's playing for themselves. So yeah. Will there be any twist? What will TJ's twist be? Do we have any ideas? No, no one. It's only 10
I
episodes,
don't know.
so
I
it's
mean,
got to
there's
be.
the star factor, so
I don't know.
I don't know.
Okay, that's fine. All right, and real quick, who do we think will win? Not who do we want. Who do we think's going to win? There's only one person. You can only name one person. Only one winner. I don't want to.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Cara.
I was
I'm
gonna
going
say the same
Cara.
thing. I was probably gonna say Cara too.
I was going to say Cara as well, and I'm not saying that just to agree because we never like to agree. But I was thinking Cara as well. However, if people are smart, they should really gun for the better player. So maybe not Cara.
Brad, I think, is a good chance. Like if
Brad
we
or
Brad's
Laurel.
a good chance.
Because Laurel.
And let's not. I mean, I think the girl cast is stronger. Let's not sleep on Rachel. Let's not sleep on her either.
Oh God, yeah, no sleeping on Rachel.
But if I had to choose a guy, I'm gonna go Brad as well. Just
and
because.
sometimes being dumb though, like Nicole, who might be when she was cheering about it being individual, I was like, "You're not winning, Nicole. What are you cheering for? You're not going to be like the individual winner. She's not gonna." What if I'm wrong? What if Nicole takes it all?
Nicole's taking it all.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. This is.
I mean, Emmanuel and Casey are champions, so Nicole, you might as well join them too. My God. All right, we gotta.
Anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
Guys.
All right, bye everybody. Have a great week. We'll see y'all next week. Bye.
Bye.